We should probably.
No, we can. Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Alright. Just about that time.
No, we're not. I want to know how late.
Let's get this day going. Nice, beautiful day. Alright. What is on the agenda today? Is it race? Is it abortion? Is it trans? Let's go with trans. Why not? I just don't get the parents of trans children. I don't get their love. I mean, what is love about destroying a kid's future from ever having a normal family? If anyone has ever had a normal family, has anybody ever had a mom, dad, kid, all that fun stuff? Husband, wife, kids, house, the whole kit and caboodle. Growing up, I mean, a kid, that's really all they want, is to be loved by mom and dad and kind of be pushed with their dreams of what they might become. The problem with making a kid go, transition into the different sexes, you just put a whole bunch more on that kid's plate. Now, instead of worrying about, pimples and making the track team or finding a group of friends you can kind of associate with, what you did is you took up his or her free time now to basically learn how to take hormones, how to try to stop the progress of your natural body. I've seen some horror things on that jazzy little kid, the one that transitioned from, I guess it was a boy, now it's a girl, and the shit they got to go through to dilate the vagina. It's pretty gruesome. It's pretty fucked up. Why would you want to take a kid's child? The kid's innocent. If a kid came to you and literally, without you going to the kid, I think a lot of bullshit are the parents going to the kid and trying to force this ideology on them. I know this because I have a sister who does the same thing to her kids. Anyways, if a kid happened to go to you, why would you say, oh, I never thought of it. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are a little girl, little Johnny. You do enjoy playing with Susan's Barbies. You're not effeminate, or you might grow up to be on the feminine side. No. You are a girl. So let's start hormones and stopping puberty and basically screwing up your natural life for the rest of your life because you are a confused child. So let's wreck your life because you are confused. Completely destroy. And the suicide rate is about 17 times higher about 10 years after they've been surgically and medically transitioned. For all these people and parents say, well, I'd rather have an alive child than a dead child. No, you are more likely to have a dead child if they transition. And it's a disgusting form of love if I've ever seen them. How is it love to make your child never have a chance at a happy life? Never. If you transition a child as a child, well, for one, if they get transitioned before the puberty, you just destroy his or her chance of ever having an orgasm. Ever. Done. Not going to happen. So then you probably in the process more than likely castrate them. So then they never have a child themselves and never get to experience the love of a parent over a child. So that's two forms of love you have just destroyed. And then to confuse them on top of everything else a kid has to worry about. as a kid growing up, you see stuff happening through your parents, and you don't know exactly what's happening. Sometimes you see a wear and tear. Sometimes you get a glimpse behind the curtain. But as a child, bliss is beautiful. It's okay if a kid doesn't know the ins and outs of life by the time he's 10 or she's 10. You don't have to take that child out of the child. Why are you making these kids have to grow up and go through big world problems? Let them be fucking kids. If a kid comes to you and says that they think they're young, just tell them how beautiful they are. How they're great the way they are. What's so great about being a guy? Show them what's great about being a boy. And if you're a girl, show them what's great about being a girl. That's the beauty of having a mother and a father. You have an input on the adult stage for a child if it ever has any questions about personhood, adulthood. But instead, you want to wreck a child for a side piece. And don't give me this bullshit, it's love. I would probably bet my life savings that at least half of these transitions that are as a child, it is more about the parent trying to look different in front of the world. Because that parent was never special. That parent never made anything of themselves. So their way of proving that they are special in some way is that they raised a trans child. Their child has become a side piece. Their child has become a special part of that parent. It's not about the child. It is about the parent showing that they are special. That they're open-minded. That they're so progressive. It doesn't matter in the process that they are literally destroying children's lives on procedures that are unproven, undone. They are completely guinea pigs. Your children going in for these procedures right now. The drugs they give these children to stop puberty are the drugs they give pedophiles. If that does not sway a parent into not doing it, then what the fuck will? What is this mind virus that has captured half of America? That it's now love to cut your kid up and stop a healthy growing child. How the fuck is that love? Wow, it's disgusting. It's abuse. And it's sad to say, but I really think any parent that transitions their child should be put in jail. They should be fucking locked up. You have just destroyed a person's life before they grew to personhood. Before they knew of any of the real world. Before they knew common sense. Before they knew how to fucking have a drink. Before they can drive. Before they can get a tattoo. Before they can buy a pack of smokes. A gun. Before they can join the army. Before they can work a job. You have just given them the power to change their lives forever. All of those things, the exception of a tattoo, is so much less affecting the rest of your life than transitioning is. I mean, I guess you could say smoking would be. I guess you could say drinking to an extent. But if it's just a one-time thing, you have a drink that day, that is so much less appalling than transitioning your child's sex for the rest of their life. They are not your moldable plaything. They are a child, an innocent. And they deserve a chance to grow old and a chance to be happy. A chance. So instead, you put your kid into a camp of people. I say a camp of people, the trans community, which by numbers, half of them commit suicide. And more than half of them commit it after transitioning. This bullshit of saving their life, you are killing them. You're killing. Well, you just destroyed your chance of ever having a grandkid. So I hope you enjoy this child rearing age, because you'll never get a grandchild to raise. You'll never have a happy moment of walking your son or daughter down the aisle. You'll have half of the world basically saying how terrible a person you are because you want to fucking show the world that you're progressive. So showing the world that you are open and progressive is more important than your kid having a happy future. Wow. You parents are disgusting. You are fucking disgusting. Oh, you would cut pieces off your kid. Literally cut body parts off your kid, and you call it love. Wow, it's such a fucked up world we live in. It really is. And the fact that, like, if you say what I'm saying, this is known as bigotry. This is the craziest part about the whole thing. They have completely flipped all meaning of anything by calling anybody who disagrees a hateful person, a bigot, a racist, a sexist, anything ist. But it's a slick move by a disgusting side of the world to, honestly, reset. It's the global reset, and it's happening right now. And rich people know what they're doing. They have half the country mad at half the country. This is the most hateful I've ever seen our country. I mean, I wasn't around for the civil rights movement. I wasn't around for slavery way back then. But right now in my life is probably the most hateful time in our country that I could ever remember. And it's sad. I mean, you literally have people like calling people hateful bigots for wanting to save kids, save children. And then everybody talks about how much they cannot trust the government, right? We can't trust the government. We can't trust the government. But then you want, in the same vein, ban all guns. Give all the power to the government of the entity that you don't trust. I mean, maybe you trust them now because Biden's in charge. Then do you trust him when Trump's in charge? If you trust him when Trump's in charge, do you trust him when Biden's in charge? Either one of them. You know the president changes every 4 years, right? And I think it's the worst president in my lifetime. Just the worst. And I only way I can judge it is by how the feel of the country is. And the country feels hateful. It's sad. Anyways, try to have a fun day. The world's not falling apart. We're not going to WW3. One thing you should do, go talk to people. People are nice in person. People on the screens, on TV, they're fucked up.